We have brand new details on the next main series Sonic the Hedgehog game scheduled to release next year. We have to talk about this. Hey, what's up everyone, it's me, SpeedSuperSonic, it's another video, and that's right, you heard me correct. We are talking about the next main series Sonic game, Sonic Frontiers 2, the Sonic Frontiers sequel, whatever you guys want to call it. We have brand new information via leaks from a very reputable source, because they just recently were the same source that leaked some of the SpongeBob and Sonic Racing Crossworld stuff, so yeah, I think that we can believe this individual now. Of course, it's not 100% confirmed, so take everything with a grain of salt, but we have some really exciting stuff to go over here today, because the next Sonic game is one that's incredibly anticipated. Yes, Sonic Racing Crossworlds does have a crowd. There are people that are excited for it despite that insane price tag, which I didn't even get to talk about in the video. But everybody, when it comes to Sonic, like Sonic fans, are always waiting for the next main series game. After Sonic Forces, they're like, yeah, Team Sonic Racing's cool, yeah, Sonic Colors Ultimate's cool. They actually weren't saying that they didn't like it. Everybody was really just waiting for Sonic Frontiers, or what would become Sonic Frontiers. And the same is kind of applied after Frontiers. Sonic X Shadow Generations was super cool, because Shadow Generations, that aspect of the game, kind of operated almost as a new game and new experience, taking some elements obviously from Generations and borrowing a lot of levels and all of that stuff and being just largely, you know, reminiscent of the past as the Generations formula is, but still overall a new experience. But that next main series game, that's what we've been waiting for. How are they going to build upon Frontiers? Well, we have some answers. We're going to be reading this article right here from comicbook.com describing all of the new stuff that has been revealed about Sonic Frontiers 2 and its release date and all the new stuff that we need to know about it. Sonic Frontiers 2 rumor reveals possible release window. Will we see a new 3D Sonic game next year? Let's take a look. It's been almost 3 years since the release of Sonic Frontiers, and it seems Sega is currently working on a sequel. According to a new rumor, a follow-up to the game is currently planned for release in November of 2026, so that would be an amazing date. I believe Sonic Frontiers was released in November of 2022, so that would give us a solid 4-year cushion between the games, which is the same thing that happened with Forces. If anything, that would make that a year shorter, but maybe the pandemic and everything around the early 2020s impacted the release date of Frontiers just by a little bit, so that can explain the year shorter window. I think that's a perfect time to release a new Sonic game. We know that Sonic Racing Crossworlds is coming out in September. I think you want to hold off those bigger games that are going to really have an impact on the holiday season around the Black Friday season of time, so late November is perfect for it. Right before Christmas, it helps sales, makes a lot of sense, so that's cool. The rumor comes from X/Twitter user Powful, who recently shared news about SpongeBob SquarePants appearing in Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Spoilers for you who didn't know that already. We talk about it in our last video. Following those comments, footage of the character in the game leaked online. That does give this rumor a little more weight than it might otherwise, but readers should still take this with a grain of salt, pending an official announcement. That's of course the case. Just because this person has leaked stuff in the past doesn't mean that they're immune from spewing false information at times. They, of course, you know, this could be real, this could be true. They clearly have some kind of in and are able to get access to information, but never believe anything 100% until it's officially announced. The leaker went on to reveal a few other tidbits about the game. Apparently, the game will continue to refine the open zone approach that was introduced in Sonic Frontiers and appeared again in last year's Shadow Generations. Of course, that was mainly the open world aspect of that, which was awesome, and I liked way more, honestly, than some of the open world aspects of Frontiers. So imagine, like, if they combine the two and find a way to just, like, harmonize them in Sonic Frontiers. Oh, it's gonna be amazing. As far as the red goes, Powful seemed to indicate that Ian Flynn will be handling the story. Flynn began his Sonic career writing the comics published by Archie and has been involved from the start with IDW's Sonic the Hedgehog series. However, Sonic Frontiers marked the first time that Flynn was brought on to work on the story for one of the video games. Okay, this is really funny because I'm getting an ad for Sonic X Shadow Generations right now in June of 2025. If all of this information is correct, none of it would be all that surprising. Sega has largely settled into a yearly release schedule for the Sonic series, with new entries traditionally being released in the months of October or November. 2026 happens to be the 35th anniversary of the Sonic franchise, so the character's next big 3D game would make sense to release that year. Since writing the story for Sonic Frontiers, Ian Flynn has also been tapped by Sega to work on additional games since, including Sonic Dream Team and Shadow Generations. On top of all that, Sonic Frontiers director Mario Kishimoto revealed in 2023 that Sega plans on refining the open zone concept in future games. Basically, this leak seems to confirm a lot of things things that were either known or what Sonic fans would largely expect to see. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it does make all of this a little less believable as a genuine leak. It's possible that powerful sources really do have insider information about the future of Sonic, but it could also be a mix of information that's publicly available mixed with some safe assumptions. That is honestly a great way to close it off, because that is very much so true. Everything that's revealed in here, I think everybody could have assumed. I think the biggest swing is the release date, but even then, 4 years after Sonic Frontiers, the first one, I wouldn't be at all surprised if they release it, especially in the year of Sonic's 35th anniversary. Like, think about it. After Racing Crossroads, what could they release in 2026 other than a main series title? Another 2D game? Absolutely not. I'm sure there are people watching this video and Sonic fans around the world who would love another 2D Sonic game, and a modern one, but after Superstars, I think they're putting classic Sonic and the 2D formula to, not to bed, but at least they're letting it take a nap. I think it makes all the sense in the world to release the next main series game, and I think it probably should at this point be at a state to where you can start marketing it, promoting it, and then eventually release it in 2026. So we'll see what happens. But outside of that, yeah, we could have assumed it was going to build upon the open world formula, and also that Ian Flynn would come back to write the games, because he's been writing all of them. I don't think it's too surprising. I think if they went in more detail about more specifics, like how the game is going to operate, details on the story, that'd be very interesting. A little sad it leaked this early, but yeah, this information isn't hard to believe at all. I think they're safe assumptions, and stuff like the open world gameplay is, like they said in the article, already known information. If you're doing a sequel to Frontiers, and based off of the fact that the open world in Shadow Generations happened, yeah, they're gonna continue doing that, especially in the next main series Sonic game. By no means am I saying don't get excited about any of this, because of course this is all exciting stuff. You know, I'm very happy that if this is true, if this was to be believed, that yeah, there's a new Sonic game coming next year, and it is the next main series title, which is awesome, because I think that we need something really cool for Sonic's 35th anniversary, because, you know, 2027, that's when the next movie comes out, and we don't really have anything too much scheduled for next year either. Although it was teased at the very end of 2024, Sonic Racing Crossroads, we didn't know anything that was coming this year. So I think we're at a place with the Sonic brand at this point that we can just assume that there's a new game that's going to come out every single year. And I think, like I said earlier, I think it makes the most sense that the next main series game would be next year. It's Sonic's 35th anniversary. You gotta hit it home. Big year for the brand. And I think that we haven't had a Sonic game really that is impactful release on an anniversary year since Sonic Generations. The 25th anniversary games came out the year after, well over a year after. Sonic Frontiers came out the year after Sonic's 30th anniversary. And yes, there were games that came out on the year of the 25th and 30th, but it was Sonic Boom Fire and Ice and Sonic Colors Ultimate. Not very too impactful titles. I think it'd be so cool to have a proper 35th anniversary Sonic game, and for it to be the next game in the main series, and a follow-up to Frontiers that hopefully builds and further polishes and executes upon the open world formula and does something really cool and different with it. I'm really hoping that we get something really freaking cool out of this. Everything that we heard out of this, just to summarize, like we heard, is a November 2026 release date. Ian Flynn returning to write the story, and it's going to be open world again. All things I think we could have assumed. In fact, I think in the future I might make a video about what to expect from Sonic Frontiers 2, because I think there's so many easy assumptions you can make about the game. One thing I'm crossing my fingers for are multiple playable characters. I think a main series Sonic game, at least, has been missing that for a while. Genuinely, since Sonic 06, still a main series game. I know there's Dream Team, I know there's Boom Rise of Lyric, and whatever game you'd like, but yeah, main series game, I really want to see some new playable characters, and just a more rich world to explore. But this isn't necessarily a video talking about what I want from Sonic Frontiers 2. We're just kind of here to talk about the report that came out around sometime last week that no one's really discussed yet. Maybe it's because all of this could have been assumed, but I did think it was interesting, and I do want to toss it to you guys and ask what your thoughts are. This is from a leaker who did leak something that was not previously known, and that was SpongeBob being in Crossworlds. And because of that, do you believe this report or do you not? Are you liking what you're hearing, or would you like for them to go in a different direction in regards to some of the things that are listed that are going to be happening in the Frontiers follow-up? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to know what you guys have to say. Feel free to follow my social media links, my Twitter and Instagram in the description below. You can follow those sponsoring in my life, feature content, and all things Sonic the Hedgehog. But most importantly, if you're not subscribed, make sure that you are subscribed. This is the #1 destination on YouTube for all things Sonic. Whether it's video games, TV shows, movies, comics, merchandise, and more, we talk about it all. I am so sorry, guys, for being away for a week. I was very sick right when Monday kicked off. I was actually planning on getting this video to you guys that day, and then having a really cool video essay to release today, but I was flat on my ass all week. So I promise next week we're gonna go extra hard, so stay tuned. Make sure you stick around for all the awesome videos. I love all you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out. Woo!
And be right by the motherfucking seaside, dog. Everything I see, I got a dream. I thought these leaves would go and take me out the dark. I know everything I wanted to far away.